Hello everyone! Have you ever witnessed mesmerizing or terrifying natural phenomena that gave you goosebumps? Or maybe you've had the good fortune to laugh heartily at some funny moment in life. In reality, curious and spectacular events follow us at every turn. You just have to learn to notice them. And if there happens to be a camera nearby in those moments, then you're truly lucky. That's exactly what you could call the creators of the videos in today's compilation, people who found themselves in the right place at the right time. One of those cases where the camouflage is so precise, the eye is easily fooled. From above, the ocean usually looks calm and smooth, but this time, north of the UK, a whirlpool was spotted, a reminder that even the quietest surface hides movement beneath. It must be said, the appearance of light in this spot looks incredibly dramatic, as if someone slowly lifted the curtain over an evening alley. The simplest process, and a clear reminder that evolution doesn't pause. In the mountains, danger isn't always underfoot. Sometimes it comes flying right at you. Sometimes wild nature shows up without warning and without hurry. Water reacts to vibrations, turning sound into motion. If there's a hole, a cat will use it. Not long ago, people walked here. Now the water calmly reclaims its space. The thin ice cracks so clearly and evenly that it feels more like a glazier's work than a natural process. It feels like walking on air, but beneath your feet is crystal clear ice, created by silence, cold, and time. Sometimes the sea brings encounters you never expect, and they happen within arm's reach. Oh my God. Pythons can grow several meters long, and seeing such a neighbor near your yard is, to put it mildly, unexpected. This bright red velvet mite looks like a toy, but it has its own role in nature, hiding in dry, warm soil and appearing after the rain. It was so cool! It's hard to comprehend how this is even possible. The scale of nature easily erases any sense of control. In places like this, humans aren't masters, they're guests. One wave strike, and water shoots upward in a massive plume. Beautiful, but best admired from a distance. The bridge disappears into the thick fog, as if continuing somewhere beyond reality. It's quite likely those wires can be damaged this way, but icing certainly does them no good either. The fountain shoots water upward with such pressure that it becomes an entire wall. When the ground begins to blaze with a single touch, you realize something deep within this place has long awaited its way out. A rare blue snake glides through the grass, and its vibrant color looks almost unreal. Just a touch, and the sea anemone instantly contracts, reacting to any external stimulus. In your hand, it feels like a piece of glass, but in fact, it's a fragile creation of nature. A top-down view you just can't look away from. Avalanches are mesmerizing right up until you realize how dangerous they are. When light hits fog at just the right angle, a rainbow forms a perfect circle. You can only witness this sight from above, and it's deeply awe-inspiring. At first glance, it's hard to grasp the scale. Only after pausing do you realize what's really happening. No one honks or rushes. Everyone understands that right now, it's simply time to wait. Just an ordinary log on the outside, a full-fledged home on the inside. They're not here for the spectacle. Everything happening is part of their struggle for life.
Olha, gente, Renan, estão saindo, ó. É na volta do açude, gente, que ele sai tudinho. Eu tô filmando de cima. Devagarinho, hamster, eles fecham na tua cara. Cada uma ferroada dessa aqui, gente, tá.
An ordinary morning turns into a surreal scene. A cloud of sparks and light covers the neighborhood, as if the sky decided to put on its own show. A storm raised a colossal wall of dust covering the city of General Villages in Argentina.
To be honest, I'm speechless after witnessing it. What about you?
Rare natural phenomena draw attention, and this place was no exception.
2025 का लेटेस्ट
There are many phenomena and processes in nature that most people don't even suspect exist. In Kamchatka, snow levels aren't measured in centimeters, but in how deeply the car is buried beneath it. Wonder if the Tesla owner noticed that his car had been taken over by bees. The ship passes so close to the iceberg that it seems you could reach out and touch the ice.
Sir. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's gonna crash. Oh my god.
Bees are capable of building hives in the most unexpected places, even where humans remain unaware of their presence for years.
Wow, oh my gosh.
Wow, it's amazing. They're not aggressive. No? Can you guys hear it? Yeah. It's very cool. Yeah, it's so beautiful.
In a Canadian park, the river turned neon green. It was later discovered to be fluorescent dye that had accidentally gotten into the water.
You guys have no clue what's...
Light pillars are a rare phenomenon that can only be seen under special conditions of cold and crystal clear air. In November 2025, residents of the Arctic village of Mohi witnessed the sky bloom with dozens of lights.
There are things that are absolutely impossible to believe, and how could this even happen?
Light filters through the treetops, and for a moment, the forest holds its breath. They may seem like just soap bubbles, but they look like a carefully designed art composition. Looks like a cartoon character decided to drop into the real world and lift people's spirits along the way. These adorable little ones are not as helpless as they might seem. They know exactly where to run and what to do. A volcano awakens, and pressure from deep within the earth bursts out in fiery lava flows. In central Kazakhstan, severe frost turned the surface of the lake into thousands of ice balls, forming a rare natural pattern. One powerful blast, and a shower of fiery sparks lights up the sky above. It looks like this car will have to stay here until spring. In winter, Lake Halloun becomes a moving edge of ice. The wind pushes the floes, and they crash, break, and pile up along the shore. No wonder the driver lost control. Seeing a huge elephant on the road is enough to lose not just focus, but your composure entirely. Just a second ago, there was a building here, and now all that's left is a cloud of dust. A controlled hotel demolition turns a massive building into a cloud of dust in just seconds. The precision is so perfect, it feels as if the structure simply vanished into thin air. The wind is so strong that trees literally bend under its force. A real storm of birds rose above the train station, as if the city were covered by a dark, living cloud. There's something extraordinary about gliding between icy formations, where the colors shift from deep cold blue to soft pale aqua. Swimming under the stars feels like gliding between two worlds. In the tropical forest, a fallen tree doesn't disappear, it becomes part of a new ecosystem. This dark patch is a massive school of fish desperately trying to escape a hungry predator. Looks like they decided an important meeting was starting, and everyone needed to be present right away. The dolphin clearly wanted to get closer, but she preferred to keep her distance. Looks like it's time for a change. The old skin is about to be left behind. It seems like boredom is the last thing on her mind here. The traveling cat is in place, journey complete. It's great to have a big and strong friend nearby, ready to help. The leaves are covered with a solid, writhing carpet. That scale would definitely unsettle anyone who's not fond of insects. Not everyone can stay calm when coming into such close contact with insects. As soon as that massive silhouette appears in the water, the entire underwater world freezes. The fish part ways, as if making room for a giant. Not everyone would dare walk here, and understandably so, as there are so many worms you can't even find a spot to step. An incredible moment when the ocean seems to boil with fish. Rain can leave different consequences. This time, the city was filled with thousands of insects. In December 2025, swarms of dragonflies descended on Montevideo and other cities in Uruguay.
And how do you like such a twist? To be honest, I can't do without your comments here.
When nature takes over, even symbols lose their stability. What seems still can change in a matter of seconds. A sudden volcanic eruption triggers an instant reaction as the sight sends shivers down your spine. The excavator got so caught up in its work that it literally dug itself into a dangerous hole. When water starts spilling over the aquarium's edge and the walls begin to shake, one simple thought comes: just hang on and hope the earthquake ends soon. Life by the shore knows how to hide well. It looks quiet and almost like a toy, but it's actually one of the loudest insects in the world. At that moment, he realized catching something doesn't mean it's yours to keep. The homeowners had no idea they had been sharing the house with dozens of uninvited residents all along.
Look at that. Those are some happy bats. They're doing happy bat things. Look at that. These are mixed in all bats. It's so cool.
She probably didn't expect feathered company when heading out for a walk. The plan was solid. The ice, not so much. The rehearsal went well. The audience was pleased. Everyone else came to skate, she came to perform.
If you haven't liked this episode yet, now is the best time to do it.
Looks like there are far more fish here than chances to actually catch one. Sometimes you just need to look up and the world freezes for a moment. When a multi-ton block of ice starts moving, the smartest thing to do is keep a safe distance. For his profession, height isn't extreme, it's part of the job. The boundary between land and sea doesn't exist for everyone.
Here, down the back of White Rock.
There's no doubt this 5-meter python had a good meal, and now moving around has clearly become a challenge.
And that lump in its belly is a fully grown wallaby. Just gonna have to try and work out if I can even get this fella into a bag.
Apparently, this isn't the first time he's dealt with such a python. The confidence with which he handles the huge snake speaks for itself. Tourists expected a quiet ride through the canals, but the complete lack of traffic rules took its toll, and soon a real collapse began.
That is why I'm amazing. This is the most This is surreal. It's amazing. It's surreal.
It seems like something alive and moving, but it's just plants growing with extraordinary density.
Jarang-jarang melihat
What looks like plastic or pearls is actually squid eggs left in the shallows.
ini lebih jelas nih. Ada dalamannya tuh. Coba di dalam tuh. Ini lebih jelas nih.
These strange growths are goose barnacles. They feed on plankton and usually attach themselves to hard surfaces. In this case, they turned an old boat washed up on a Pacific shore into their home. This isn't a snake, it's a dense mass of larvae joining together for safety and the search of food.
What an incredible footage! We always strive to choose the best content for you.
Science has yet to prove their existence, but who knows? Maybe they're just better at hiding than we think. During stingray feeding, seagulls quickly figured out how to take advantage of the situation. They literally use the fish as moving platforms. They move together, slowly and almost silently, like a single organism. They're unfazed by winter. With coats like that, there's no need to rush. Tennis, but with a twist in scale. A massive ball turns an ordinary game into a show. Even if the trick isn't dangerous, it looks impressive. It all comes down to precise calculation and balance. For them, tree bark is a buffet. The termites are nearby. All they have to do is reach out. There's always someone at the table who's convinced the food is meant to be shared. This is exactly why street food is always a matter of trust. It feels like these squirrels have been rehearsing their moves. They spin around the trunk far too skillfully. Encountering such a whale underwater is a moment that turns your whole perception of the world upside down. Such tasks are not for everyone. If you have claustrophobia, even a glance downward turns this job into a nightmare. Just a stream of water and a visual physics lesson right before your eyes. This table may look like a museum exhibit, but it's not a display, it's a marketplace.
Vamos ver qual que vai levar. Aí, vocês falam como não vende, ó. Qual que é que vendeu pra ele?
R$40.
Aí, tá bom?
Não filma aí.
Aí. Aí. Onde que ele vai colocar? Tá com nojo, é, pai? Aí. Olha lá, não quer nem pegar. Olha lá, ele tá esquecendo até o troco, ó. Aí. Vocês vê o povo na rua aí com o dente branquinho, a maioria da marreta.
Horsepower still matters, even with snow under the wheels. Looks like this dolphin found the perfect toy. She can boast not only of her beauty, but also her ability to get out of difficult situations. The snowfall was so heavy that doors stopped functioning as exits. A small car with a big past and still running. The sky lit up with bright flashes, and the fireworks burst into 100 shining lights. Surely some thought it was a UFO, the flash looked just too mysterious. In the dark, there's always someone who sees better than you, most often a predator. When the dress code demands a specific format, that's no reason to give up a bold look. Sometimes all it takes is an unconventional choice. It only took leaving the car for a couple of weeks for it to get a security system you definitely don't want to mess with. This is what a lizard catching looks like when done by someone who clearly knows what they're doing.
Il est pas content. Oh, il est pas content. Il a défait tout et tout. Oh, il est pas content. Voilà, il est en train de tout défaire.
No one's going to fool this little lady. She's way too sharp for that. A moray eel, not the kind of catch you want to see on deck. No special effects, just physics in action. A dust devil forms suddenly. It doesn't need a buildup, just the right conditions. Time and again, humans prove that their limits are far broader than we can imagine, and sometimes it's resilience and courage that become the thin line keeping us from the abyss. Looks like an entire gang of monkeys decided to raid the city, and no one dares to stand in their way. The exact number of anacondas in the Amazon is still unknown. They're too elusive and live in the most inaccessible parts of the jungle. Such a gathering is not accidental. Apparently, the log serves the fish as both shelter and meeting point.
That is wild. It looks like they're all flat.
Modern life is more exhausting than it seems. Sometimes people simply run out of energy, and sleep finds them in the most unexpected places. A living current that cannot be stopped. Peacocks impress above all with their tail, huge, luxurious, and so striking that it looks almost unreal. Thanks to her vivid facial expressions, she will make any report memorable. It's not magic or wind, just machinery at work. Sometimes the sea simplifies everything itself. There are so many fish that traditional fishing methods become pointless. It turns out that to create real magic, you don't have to study at Hogwarts. A mirror is a mirror. Even a chimpanzee couldn't resist checking its reflection. Roosters aren't known for flying, but when needed, they can cover quite a distance. Jumping into the middle of a fish school isn't the smartest idea. If the fish are darting like that, it means a predator is nearby. It seems this is the very moment when fire shows just how unpredictable it can be. Inside the blazing mass, a shape suddenly appears as if created by the heat itself.
Even though our episode is almost over, we would like to cheer you up and let you know that a new one will be released soon. Don't forget to click the bell so as to not miss it.